Marauders for the Month by lishiee. Chapter 24. James Potter's Birthday Bash. Marlene and Lily had spent the morning scouring the school for things to give James Potter for his birthday. Both of them had forgotten or not had time until this morning, evident by the repeated moaning and groaning. "When are you two going to give up?" Mary asked, slumping forward to get eye level with the chessboard. The girl had been so bored sitting around waiting for them to find something that she had jumped at the opportunity to play chess with Peter. "Never!" Lily wailed, ripping off a couch cushion. "His birthday isn't even until Thursday. You could always wait until then," Peter murmured, grinning when Mary finally moved a pawn. "Checkmate?" "Ugh," Mary moaned in frustration and watched Peter's pawn brutally kill her king. "Well, yeah, that's true, but you lot have all gotten him gifts, so," Marlene drawled, waving her hands to finish off her sentence. Right after she said that, Marlene shut up in delight with her hands firmly grasping something. "Aha!" "No," Lily moaned, watching Marlene unfurl her fingers to reveal a golden snitch they all knew James had been frantically searching for recently. "Don't be a sore loser, Lils," Marlene smirked. She tossed the snitch up into the air, satisfied, before pushing Mary out of the chair and deciding to take her chances against Peter. "Mary, help me," Lily whined, now taking to searching every corner of the castle if that's what it took. "Come with me to look?" Mary glanced down at her, arms crossed and an eyebrow arched. It lasted for a few seconds before she split into a grin and held out a hand. "All right, love, let's go," Mary chuckled, yanking Lily to her feet and following her out on her adventure to find the perfect gift. Lily did a small twirl in front of the mirror, checking out the fit of the pants. They fit quite nicely. She didn't wear bell buttons that much, but Mary always made good fashion choices, so if she told Lily to wear them, she would wear them. The pants had been paired with a brown long-sleeve shirt with a floral tank top slipped over it. She looks good. Earlier, on her quest to find James a gift, Mary had somehow tugged her along to the Hufflepuff common room, where they ran into Emmeline. There, she found out the great news: the girl could crochet, and she had tons upon tons of yarn. With only a few words with Mary, the girl agreed to crochet a stag for Lily to give to James. The small plush now sat upon her bed, looking as cute as ever. Lily owed the girl big time. Even with the magic, Emmeline had made it extremely fast, shocking both her and Mary. Downstairs, Lily could hear the arrival of a few people, rowdy as ever. Looking at the time, the party was set to start in a few minutes. "Lily, come over here," Mary hollered from the bathroom. Lily snapped back to reality and strolled over, taking in the state of the bathroom. Makeup was strewn about everywhere, a flat iron propped at the edge of the sink with steam pouring off it. Mary was beaming at her with a round brush in one hand and a blow-dryer in the other. Marlene was mere inches from the mirror, applying eyeliner to her waterline. "Let me do your hair, please," Mary whined, trying her best to pout. Lily rolled her eyes, walking out of the bathroom to grab a chair. Mary smiled even wider when Lily dragged the chair to stop right in front of her and sat down. The three girls trudged down the spiral staircase at the sound of the party amped up. Lily could feel her hair poofing out around her face. Mary had way too much fun with the blow-dryer. The usual group was already crowded around the couch, James outshining all of them. She could see Regulus and Dorcas off to the side, ogling their respective partners. "Hi guys," James beamed, beckoning them over to sit by them. As soon as they sat down, Dorcas made her way over and cozied up next to Marlene. "How's the party so far?" Mary asked, taking up a spot next to Sirius. "Not much going on. Pete wanted to play beer pong, so we're waiting for you lot," James answered. He looked around at all of them, eyes eventually landing on Lily. "Me?" Lily trilled. When she looked around, she understood why. Marlene and Dorcas were too busy snogging each other's faces off. Mary and Sirius were whispering to each other. Remus was off talking to Regulus. It was just her. "Who would I even play with?" Lily huffed. Neither of the boys answered, only looking behind her with bright smiles. Lily laid her head back on the couch and looked straight up to see Pandora standing right above her. She was absolutely gorgeous, even more so when she glanced down at Lily and smiled. God, Lily was weak. "I'll play," Pandora said. The two girls sorely underestimated the boy's abilities. For the next few minutes, Lily found herself taking swing after swing of a drink Peter mixed for her. Once she had too much to drink, it was becoming harder and harder to keep her hair out of her face, making the game lean ever more so in the boy's favour. Pandora dug around the pockets of her skirt until she found a hair tie, twirling it in the air like a prized possession. "There," Pandora smiled, spinning Lily around and handing her the ping-pong ball. She beamed at her, tucking a few strands that had already gotten loose behind her ear. The low ponytail was a great fix. "All right, bring it on, Evans," James chuckled, taking a step back as Lily lifted her arm up. "We've got nothing to worry about, James," Peter snickered. Lily threw him a glare before tossing the ball and completely missing. "Nice try, love," Pandora laughed, trying to comfort a pouting Lily. As of now, her and Pandora were still losing miserably. Peter and James had 3 cups left, while the girls had 8 cups left. Because of the boys' astounding lead, both of the girls were also pretty drunk. Pandora was definitely holding her alcohol a bit better. "Come on, Wormy, it's your time to shine," James encouraged, hands firmly on Peter's shoulders while the boy aimed. The ball arced through the air and plunked into one of the cups, causing James to hoot in excitement. "Cheaters," Lily mumbled. The two of them went back and forth until finally James and Peter only had 1 cup left. Thankfully, that let Pandora and Lily catch up a little. They got down to 3 cups before Sirius walked over and interrupted, painfully sloshed. "Ooh, let me throw prongs, please." The two boys went back and forth, bickering at each other until, reluctantly, James handed the ball to Sirius, and they all watched him, ready up for a toss. Remus stood off to the side with an amused look on his face, as Sirius raised his arm and squinted at the cup. The boy eventually threw the ball. All eyes followed it. The boy eventually threw the ball, and all eyes followed it as it soared through the air. Well, more like zipped. Sirius threw it way too hard. Lily watched in slow motion as the ball got closer and closer to her face, and smacked her right between the eyes. Next to her, Pandora gasped and shot her hand out, forgetting she was holding a drink, that then spilled all over Lily. "Nice job, Padfoot," Remus mused. "Oh shit, I'm sorry, Lily." Pandora gasped, leaning down and picking her empty cup up. Lily frowned down at her shirt, trying and failing to wipe the alcohol off her shirt. "Let's go get you a new shirt," Pandora murmured, ushering her towards the stairs within seconds. It was all happening so fast she had no time to protest, letting Pandora lead her wherever. "Well, actually, you could just," Sirius piped up before 3 hands came smacking over his mouth and smothering the rest of his words. "We'll be right back," Pandora called, calming Lily as she pouted over her shirt. The two of them walked into the girls' bedroom, Lily immediately flopping on a bed and Pandora walking over to the first dresser she saw. Lily silently looked up at the star stickers pasted to the top of the canopy bed, which she now knew belonged to Marlene. The stars were very cute, and it immediately reminded her of Pandora. "How's this?" Pandora leaned over her and held a shirt up. Lily immediately got distracted, staring at her, taking in every detail that she could. Her braids were pushed back by a floral bandana that Lily absolutely adored. "Lily?" Slowly coming back to herself, Lily shook her head no and opened her mouth before she could stop herself. "You look pretty." Pandora smiled softly at her and ducked back out of her vision, over to the dresser. "Is that so?" "Mm-hmm. You always look pretty." Pandora popped back over to show her another shirt, and Lily shook her head no again. "Your hair is always so shiny, and I could look into your eyes for ages." Lily smiled to herself, reaching down to tug off her soaked-through shirt and throwing it off to the side. "They're so pretty. Pretty, pretty, pretty." Love, I think maybe you should stop talking. I'll leave you talk. I love your voice. It's pretty. She could hear Pandora giggle as she shuffled back over, hovering one of Marlene's vanity shirts over her. Lily shook her head. Yes. Alright, time to get up, lols. Pandora reached out and grabbed Lily's hand, giving a slight tug. This didn't so much as Lily had no real intention of help. This didn't do much, as Lily had no real intention of helping Pandora heave her up. Lily made it a few inches off the bed before flopping back down with a small giggle. Pandora huffed exasperatedly and then gave Lily's hand a harder tug, yanking her all the way up and closing the space between them a little too quickly. The two of them tumbled into each other, both girls surprised by how far Lily had been pulled up. Faces only mere inches apart. Suddenly, Lily remembered she was shirtless and fancied the girl right in front of her. She couldn't stop her eyes from glancing down at Pandora's lips. They looked so soft, shimmering with lip gloss. What she would give to kiss her right now. Before she could even consider it, Pandora pressed delicate fingers to Lily's chest and lightly pushed her back, handing her the shirt. Thanks, Lily mumbled, sloppily tugging the shirt over her head. The shirt was a loose fit, very different from the tight shirts discarded on the floor. Pandora reached out and tucked a few strands of hair behind Lily's ear and smiled with all the sincerity in the world. Lily could feel herself getting even more drunk. Time to go win. They did not win. Peter made the shot first try when they got back. Before Lily ever got time to sulk and whine to Pandora, Dorcas and Remus popped up, asking her for weed. Pandora picked up her hand and gave it a quick squeeze before disappearing off with the two of them. Well, look at you, Evans, Regulus smirked, watching her stare at the portrait longingly. Are you missing your girlfriend? Lily felt her drunken blush burn brighter as she whipped to the side to glare at him. She's not my girlfriend, Lily retorted. She backed up to slump on the couch and was soon joined with Regulus right by her side. Very convincing. How are you feeling about that, then? Regulus mused, watching Lily cross her arms with a frown. Don't care, Lily mumbled. Right after she said that, James passed by and gave Regulus a chaste kiss on the cheek. Their eyes connected for a moment, and they shared small smiles before James walked off. Disgusting. Regulus turned to her, slightly flushed, and chuckled. Lily, it's painfully obvious that you like her. No, it's not. I literally just caught you staring, he deadpanned. Whatever. Regulus let the silence settle over them, taking a few sips from his cup and sighing. You know Regulus paused, studying her for a moment. Likes you too, right? Yeah, and you're shagging women, Lily scoffed, reaching over and grabbing Regulus's drink to take a sip. It tasted like shit. Hold up, do you actually think she doesn't like you like that? I mean, seriously, Lily, he asked incredulously, turning to fully face her. Why would she? Regulus stared at her for a moment, eyes boring into the side of her face, before he grabbed his cup back, placing it off to the side, and called James over to bring Lily water. Look, Evans, a while ago Remus told me you were asking about Pandora's feelings and such, without necessarily admitting your own. He started, cautiously watching her like she was a deer in the woods that would bolt at any moment. She likes you. Ever since the day you two saw each other, I've had to listen to her go on and on about you. I'm not lying. I swear on both Merlin and Morgana. Lily looked at him skeptically, still not believing what he was saying. Why would Pandora like her? Christ, I really hate to say this, Regulus groaned, running his hands over his face quickly before spitting it out. But I see how you two look at each other. It's so obvious you two want to get together, so for the sake of all of us, put on your big girl pants and ask her out. Lily gaped at him, grabbing the water cup from James as the boy snickered and disappeared again. Regulus looked rather annoyed. I'm serious, Lily, and don't make a joke about my brother's name, or I might actually throttle you. Lily sipped her water in silence, cradling it towards her to protect it from her friend's mean words. They weren't exactly mean, she just didn't like his tone. He always had been a snarky little shit. After it was obvious he wasn't going to get a response, Regulus threw his hands up in exasperation before picking his drink back up and settling in. The two of them sat in silence mostly, a few comments thrown here or there. The main thing they did was people watch. It was comforting to watch all their friends and classmates have fun at the party. No worries, nothing. Half an hour later, Dorcas, Remus, and Pandora stumbled into the common room, giggling and whispering to each other. Regulus immediately shook his head and watched them meander over to the couch with a less than amused face. How stoned are you three exactly? We're not stoned, Remus snarked, his blood-red eyes saying otherwise. Sure you aren't. Right as he said that, Sirius wandered over and immediately started snickering at his boyfriend. Remus softened and left with Sirius off to their dorm room, leaving Lily and Regulus to deal with the other two. I'm assuming you two drank a bunch too, Regulus sighed, discarding his cup off to the side and hoisting Dorcas's arm onto his shoulder. Can you grab Pandora? Dorcas is probably going to start freaking out soon, and I can't handle both of them at the same time. Lily nodded her head and hoisted a very giggly Pandora arm over her shoulder. The two of them took the out-of-control girls into the silent hallway. Regulus led the way to the Slytherin's common room, deciding extremely quickly that Dorcas was the first to be dropped off. I swear to God, Dorcas, if you ask me where Marlene is one more time, I'm going to shove you down the stairs, he hissed, trying to rid Dorcas's hand off of his arm that had an uncomfortable-looking firm grip. But the walls were spinning, Dorcas whined, ducking down and clinging harder onto Regulus. I'm going to kill you. Pandora stayed mostly calm, reaching out to touch something Lily couldn't see and giggling every once in a while. The two of them waited outside the common room while Regulus dragged Dorcas inside, hissing at her like a scolding mother. When they were out of sight, Pandora lifted herself onto her tippy toes and placed her lips inches away from Lily's ear, hitting it with hot air. She could feel the hairs on her arms raise before the girl even spoke. You're really pretty too, the girl whispered, before falling into another fit of giggles and clinging closer. Lily was going to combust on the spot if Regulus didn't walk out right now. Alright, let's get her back too, Regulus sighed, fixing his shirt as he walked back over to them. Lily had never been so glad to see him in her life. No matter how hard Lily tried, Pandora would not let go of her arm, grasping to her like a lifeline. When they dropped off Pandora, she planted a light kiss on Lily's lips and skipped inside her common room, giggling like a little girl. Doesn't like you say? Regulus smirked, watching Lily turn a bright shade of red. Shut it. The rest of the night was a blur of dancing and more drinking. Lily wanted only to drown her sorrows in alcohol and not think about the one girl who was always on her mind. Her friends had no problem joining her, partying the night away. When the party finally started to die down, she rushed upstairs and grabbed the plush to finally give it to James. I shall call you Prongs Jr., he had bellowed, eyes lighting up as he showed Regulus, who listened along intently and gave James a small pat on the head. Watching the boys interact, Lily decided to leave them alone and finally end the night. Before she made it up a few steps, James called her name, making her glance at him over her shoulder. Yeah? We've got rounds together on Thursday. Lily smiled and gave him a small wave goodbye, trudging back up the stairs she came down only a few hours ago. Evidenced by the pounding headache she could feel forming, tomorrow was going to be bad. The hangover brewing was going to be the worst. They're moving. Please tell me something's going to happen soon. We have like 6 chapters left, 6, 7-ish. because, yeah. I wasn't expecting it to be such a slow burn. But anyway, this is fun. This one was a long one, actually, I think. Anyway, thanks for listening. They finally kissed, which, not even a real kiss, they were drunk in it. Anyway, see ya.